since I didn't get to do a whole lot of talking on the one earlier because I was working on some videos. So I'm going to come back and talk about some fun stuff tonight. We kind of touched on my family a little bit in the last couple of lives. So I thought we would kind of continue that discussion. So I come from a pretty small family. My parents just had my brother and I, and that was cool. My brother and I were best friends. We were about 3 years apart. Actually, our whole family is really small. My mom's sister did not have kids of her own, but she has some stepkids who now have kids of their own. And my dad's sister has 3 kids. So it's a pretty small family. Even throughout our whole family history, there's just not a lot of kids in the family, unlike some people. And that's cool. There's all kinds of different size families, but our family just never really had a lot of kiddos. So if you've been on my channel before, I've talked a little bit about my brother. My brother's name was David. We lost him when I was 16. He was 13. But I had 13 really great years with him. My mom likes to talk about the fact that when they told me we were going to have another sibling in the family, I said that I wanted a brother. And I was super excited that I got a brother. And he was probably the coolest thing that happened to me until I got older and got to do adult things, but he was pretty freaking amazing. Um, and not everybody can say that they're like best friends with their siblings, but we were best friends. And yeah, we disagreed and we play fought and we did silly stuff. But good evening. Thanks for dropping in. Hello, Wyatt. Um, but my brother was probably the coolest person that I knew for a very, very, very long time. But my the only super bad thing that ever happened between my brother and I is I broke his finger. We were really little, like really little. I think we were playing hide and seek or some childhood equivalent of that. But we're talking about family and childhood memories about my family in general. Um, but my brother was really, really, really little, and we had an older house. Still had shag carpet in it, and my brother and I were playing around the closet, and somehow his fingers got stuck in the bifold doors of the closet, and I wound up closing it, and he broke his finger. And it was horrible. I felt absolutely awful about it, and I don't remember all of it. I know he went to the hospital. I was really young. I don't remember all of it, but I know we took him to the hospital and he was crying, and I felt really bad. But that's like a childhood memory that will always stick with me. Another one that happened. Um, Another one that happened that's always stuck with me. My dad was always the type that if we saw a turtle crossing the road, he would always try to save it so that it didn't get run over. And he got the turtle one time and he brought the turtle back in the car to show my brother and I. And my brother went to touch the turtle, and the turtle bit him. And my dad got so mad at this turtle that he put him out of the car and said, if the turtle gets hurt, the turtle gets hurt. Because I was screaming, I was so upset. I was like, the turtle tried to eat my brother, and I was yelling and screaming, and my mom was upset, and it was a bad time. You're the type to stop and save turtles? Yeah, my dad has since continued to save turtles, but that was just a bad turtle incident. So, but no, my brother and I were best friends. We really were. We got in trouble. When we moved the first time we moved, I was in it was a snapping actually it wasn't a snapping turtle, it was just a regular box turtle.
Dork.
Huh?
Taking a joke.
But yeah, it was a turtle that it tried to eat him, but no, it was just a regular little black turtle. It was a little guy, but turtles try to defend themselves. But anyway, we moved when I was in kindergarten, so my brother was still really little. But my brother and I got separate rooms, and I remember when we used to get grounded and we would get sent to our rooms, my brother and I figured out that we could hear each other if we leaned down and we talked into the vent register, the heat register. And so we would do that, and we would, talk and laugh and stuff. And then Of course, my parents found out that that's what we were doing. So, yeah, the grounding thing didn't work out so well in terms of sending us to our rooms. Um, yes, those are my plushies in the back. I have tons of stuffed animals. Hello, Careless Islanders. Hi, Brielle. Thank you for stopping in, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I have a lot of plushies. I still do. I'm a big kid at heart. I love stuffed animals. Um, so yeah, my brother and I used to get in a lot of trouble in terms of like talking to each other when we were supposed to be grounded. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, Hi, Damien. Yes, you can get a shout out. Um, Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Um, so, and guys, if you guys know my spouse Madison's here too. So feel free to say hi. Madison's just working while I'm talking to you guys. It's from Hi Oaks. Nice to see you. Welcome. Um, so anyway, so yeah, some other childhood memories that I think are fun. The house that we moved into when I was in kindergarten, that when we stayed in until I was in sixth grade, it had one of those driveways that you went to the back of the house and then it turned. And our garage, like where you actually parked the car in the garage, was behind the house. Yeah, there's quite a few squishmallows back there. Like I said, I'm a big kid. I love all kinds of stuffed animals. I have a whole mess of them. That's only like part of my collection of stuffed animals. There's two more nets like that down on our stairs. I have to keep them put up because my dogs will play with them because they think they're dog toys. So my stuffed animals don't really get to hang out with me. They have to be put away. Um, so, and a lot of them are very special because Madison's given them to me. So I want to keep them put up and safe. But here, I'll turn the camera a little bit so you guys can see them a little bit better. There you go. There's a better view of them. Like I said, I have more. Oaks, thanks for stopping in. Have a good night. Take care. Yeah, so anyway, we had this driveway that turned around, and at the end of the driveway was in the back of the house was this crabapple tree. And if we didn't know as kids, we were so excited, we thought we had an apple tree. And of course, my parents had to tell us that you can't eat crab apples. That's why they're called crab apples. But it was a really good tree to climb up in as a kid. And so we would climb the tree and we would sit in it. And I remember distinctly my dad coming home from work one night and my brother and I being up in the tree. And we threw crab apples at my dad's car, which went over with my dad about as well as you think it would. It was not fun for my dad. We didn't do it to be mean. We did it because we thought it was funny, but yeah, my dad wasn't super happy about that. Other good childhood memories. Oh, fireworks. My dad loves to shoot off fireworks. I don't like them so much as an adult now because my dogs hate them. But we had fun. Our 4th of July's and we did fireworks on New Year's too. Were like so awesome. My dad, we have a family friend. They've moved down south now, but when we had this family friend that lived not that far from us, so he and his wife were friends with my parents from when they were in college, and they would buy tons of fireworks, and we would take turns. 1/4 we would have it at our house, and 1/4 they would have it at their house. But they actually made a bottle rocket launcher with a big metal pipe. And so they would lean up this big metal pipe and they would shoot bottle rockets out of it. And I distinctly remember neighbors' houses, like their roofs getting caught on fire because of us and our bottle rockets multiple times. Yeah, probably not the smartest decision in the world, but when you're a kid, you don't think about these consequences. And, my parents would just go get the hose and, try to put the fire out before anybody called the police or the fire department on us. But yeah, that was fun. They used those fireworks they call pinwheels are like a big circle, and then they have fireworks all around them. And you would light them and they would spin really fast, so they would nail those to trees in the backyard and then light them and run. And then Roman candles. We never had like Roman candle wars like I hear kids doing nowadays, where like they shoot them at each other. But we used to have Roman candles. We would have those little snake firecrackers, that look like the little black discs of charcoal, and you light them, and then they like grow. We were allowed to do those as kids. We were allowed to get the punk lighters that you would light like a long fuse kind of thing, and it would stay. Madison, can you moderate somebody? Thanks. Um. Anyway, we would get the little the long matches, or we would get the little firework punks that you would get, and we were allowed to light the snakes, and we were allowed to light sparklers. And I remember lots of times running around with sparklers and um, hanging out with family and friends and doing that. But anyway, so so we would do those kind of things, and I remember lots of good 4th of July. My dad is a really good person at barbecuing, so we would always have really great 4th of July barbecues and 4th of July um, 4th of July celebrations, and then the same thing at New Year's. I remember one year we got a bunch of snow and ice, and this is at the house my parents live at now that we moved to when I was in 6th grade, but they have a deck outside of their family room, and you would go out and we would shoot firecrackers off that for New Year's. Well, this particular year there was ice, and I think there was several inches of ice, and so we had these firecrackers that were like round discs, and they would light up and spin, and so we'd save some of those from 4th of July, and we threw them off the deck onto the ice, and they would go sliding across the backyard and spin around with really pretty colors. It was like red and green and yellow. They were really cool. It was just really super cool on 4th of July. So other fun childhood memory. My brother brought the chicken pox to our house when I was, middle school, I think. What year was I born? I was born in 1978, so I'm kind of old. Not gonna lie there. I'm 45. I have no shame telling you that. My brother was born in 1981, so he's 3 years younger than me. He passed away when I was 16. So, but hi Shate and hi Mackenzie. Nice to see you guys. Welcome. Welcome anybody else who's here who hasn't said hello. We're talking about childhood memories tonight. But yeah, so my brother brought home chicken pox, and I think he had very few. I mean, we're talking less than 25 spots. And I wound up with chicken pox all over. I had so many chicken pox, it was ridiculous. I still have a scar on my forehead because I scratched my chicken pox really bad, which you're not supposed to do. But at least I got them as a child and not as an adult. So, let's see. So childhood memory from not the first house, but the house that we were in from when I was in the middle of kindergarten through 6th grade. My childhood, I'm sorry, Mackenzie, that's hard. I am so sorry to hear that. I don't even know what to say about that. I'm very blessed that both my parents are still with us. So I'm really sorry, and I will definitely pray for you and your family. But my dad is one of those people that is super meticulous about his yard, and he was the kind of person that, well, he still is the kind of person that will go out and pull weeds out of the yard all day long, and he's super picky about how much good grass he has versus weeds. And so I remember one day a childhood friend and I decided that we were really young. I know we were still in grade school. It was a really nice summer day, and I remember us deciding that there was pirate treasure buried at my house. I'm not really sure how we decided that because we're nowhere near the ocean. But we decided to dig up the front yard and look for pirate treasure. So we put multiple holes in my parents' front yard, and they were super not pleased with that at all. And that was just awful. Like, I remember my dad just being so mad that we had dug up. And I mean, these weren't like little holes, these were big, fairly deep holes in the front yard. And that was just like awful. Halloween was a lot of good memories for us. My mom, when we were really young, um, my mom made a lot of our Halloween costumes. And when we were really, really young, she tried to make Halloween costumes like with a theme. So like one year I went as a frog and my brother was the tadpole. Um, and so she tried to do cute stuff like that. My mom made all of our birthday cakes by hand when we were young, so they were homemade cakes that decorated. Um, and she took Wilton classes, learned how to decorate cakes for us. She made a Barbie cake for me one year, where the cake was the dress of the doll. She made my brother some kind, I can't remember what superhero it was for the life of me, but just different things like that. She did a lot of neat stuff for us. Um, let's see. Other childhood memories. I think moving was it's a mixed bag for me, but moving in sixth grade, we moved over Christmas. It was really weird to like move over Christmas. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't think that people did move over Christmas. My parents did it so that we would have time to get settled into the house before we had to go back to school. And it was kind of like a nice little break. And then we got to start a new semester in the new school. But yeah, it was kind of a mixed bag. I wasn't super happy about moving. I don't know too many kids that are, because you have your friends and everything. But yeah, plus you have to start over with the social circles. So, um, we did a lot of sports and stuff, like, and after school, and just activities that kids don't do now. Like, both my brother and I played t-ball. My brother later played soccer. We were both on swim team. I was in Girl Scouts. He was in Boy Scouts. I did have a lot of fun camping when I was a Girl Scout. We used to go to several, where you stay, like, in the summer. I think we would stay like a week or so. When you were like in sixth grade or something, you would get to stay like a week at camp, and that was fun. I'm not, I'm not somebody that camped, like that wasn't something that we did as family, but it was fun to do that. It was really fun to do that. So, um, let's see, what else. Um, so big thing, like, my dad works, well, he worked when he's retired now, but when he worked, we didn't see him very much. He usually worked like, on Saturdays, including Monday through Friday. So on Sundays, when we got to go to church with the whole family, a lot of times, hi Casey, thanks for dropping in, appreciate you being here. Um, but we would get to go out to eat after church with my dad, and that was always a big deal, because that was one of the few times that my dad would spend a long period of time with us when he wasn't working, and that was really cool. We were lucky that our parents were home with us as much as they were, because I know um, a lot of people my age, their parents both worked, and it was, difficult for them to hang out with their kids as much. Um, Hey, that's cool, Casey. You hang out as much as you want. I appreciate it. I kind of actually jumped on here just as just for fun, because we were reminiscing about stuff earlier. So, yeah. So those are some fun childhood memories that I have. But most of all, like, I just remember, like, all of the fun that my brother and I had, because we were super close, and we Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I know that Jesus loves you too, and that's awesome. Thank you. You have a blessed day too. Um, but I think the biggest thing that I miss about my brother was just he was one of those people that um, loved everybody, and he was the kind that would give you the shirt off his back. Even at 13, before he passed, he was very aware of people, like when they were upset or when they were having a bad day, and he was the type of person to tell you a silly joke, or help you laugh about something, and he was always there. Like, he was always standing up for the kids that like got picked on at school, the kids that didn't have a lot of friends. He was always friends with them. And kids can be really mean. You know, kids are sometimes really, really mean to each other, and he was always the one that stood up for them. And he was just that kind of guy. He was just an awesome, awesome person. Everybody who met him absolutely loved him, and he was also like he lived pretty much without fear. When he was in swimming, he got on the dive team, and he did this dive. It's called a reverse, and basically you stand on the very edge of the diving board, and your back is facing the water, and so you stand up on your tippy toes and you push off on the springboard, and you flip around so that when you head into the water, your face is now facing the diving board. And it's actually the same dive, if you guys remember Greg Louganis from the Olympics. That's the same dive that he hit his head on, and he had to get stitches during the Olympics. Obviously, I'm dating myself because that was a long time ago, but that was the only dive that my mom could never watch. Like, she was so afraid that, and this was before Greg Louganis had hit his head. She was so afraid that my brother was going to hurt himself on this dive because the goal was to get super. You got more points the closer you were to the board. So you didn't want to jump out and away from the board. You wanted to jump super close and then do the thing where you turned around. It wasn't like a flip, but you like twisted your body and twisted your body to face the board. And my mom was always so afraid that he was going to hurt himself that she like hated watching him practice that dive. And actually, one kind of cool thing was because so swim practice was first, and my brother swam as well, and then they broke off. My age group would be done, and then my brother would have dive practice, and I actually got to help coach the little kids. Like, they only swam like freestyle, and I got to help coach them because I was there. And I was just hanging out, and I was one of the older kids, and I was just hanging out because I wasn't old enough to drive, but I was old enough to be one of the older kids, and I was there just hanging out because I had to wait for my brother to finish dive practice. So one of the coaches asked me if I would help coach the little kids because, you know, little kids don't have a great attention span, and so the more people that were in the water coaching them, the better. And it was fun. It was actually really fun. It was one of the first times that I got to instruct people and kind of lead a group of people, and it was fun. It was a lot of work because, like I said, little kids don't have a lot of attention span, but it was a very fun experience. So my brother was awesome at sports. He was really good at he did really well at diving. He also got into tumbling and gymnastics. He was just he was very like tall, skinny, wiry, but had a lot of muscular ability and control for his age. So it was really cool to see him do the things that he could do. And he had a killer smile. Like, he could just, like, you know, when you see like gymnasts and they finish their routine and they give you that big smile for the crowd, like, he had a killer smile. He was a cute kid. I don't know, my hair's slowly coming back to its natural color since I've had it dye black for so long, but for a long time, my hair's gotten darker as I gotten older. It's just naturally turned darker blonde, but my brother and I had the same sandy colored blonde hair. He was a very nice person. He passed away when I was 16. He was 13. And we were just, his birthday was the 27th of April, and Madison, my spouse, and I were just talking about him and what a cool kid he was. So I would like to believe that if he would have continued, if he would have lived long enough to be, thank you. It's, you know, I miss him greatly. I really do. But, you know, he's in a good place, and when I get to see him again, I will see him again, and it will be amazing. So I'm sad that he didn't get to meet my spouse. He and Madison would have gotten along like a house on fire because he was into technology, he was into building stuff, he was into funny movies, everything that Madison's into. So I'm sorry that he didn't get to meet. But yeah, I would like to think that if he would have been alive, he would have been an Eagle Scout, and he would have done amazing things. I don't know what he would have done job-wise, though, because he was so good at so many things. I never really stopped to think about that, you know, like but I think he would have done something amazing. yes, it will be amazing when we get to see everybody in heaven. I truly look forward to seeing people that I don't have here in my life anymore, again, and that will be really awesome. That's something that, I really look forward to because my grandparents are gone, and I miss hanging out with them. I feel like I'm missing out a lot of opportunities with talking to my grandparents because I didn't realize the value of talking with them about stuff until they were, until, so my mom's parents both passed away first. And then my dad's mom, she lived way into her 90s. And she did tell us a lot about history and about her life growing up. I don't know that I necessarily appreciated it until she was gone, like how much she shared. I'm grateful that she did though. Like she had a lot of family pictures that she had gone through and labeled who people were and like when she met them and if they were family or not. But yeah, and my mom has a ton of family pictures that she started going through. Ones from when my brother and I were little, and ones that were just family in general and family friends. And I think that's something that like nowadays people don't think about having actual physical pictures because everything's on our phones and on our computers. But sorry, I gotta get a drink, guys. But I think that's something that's so important is like having those memories with family and friends and stuff. So I'm actually uploading a video for later tonight as we speak. That's why I was checking on my computer. But so yeah, I think the family, yeah, the physical pictures they definitely do. There's something very nostalgic and very meaningful about them. That's something that we have some pictures, like very few pictures. We have a few pictures on like actually printed out of like our pets and stuff, and I think that's something we should do more of is have physical pictures of the pets, and people. We actually don't have, my spouse and I don't have a whole ton of pictures of us together because we're just not those kind of people. We don't take a lot of pictures, but it's something we should probably do more of. Oh, well, I'm glad. Tonight's video is it's a ASMR, it's a compilation video of the best ASMR videos for April. So, and then I'll have a new ASMR video out tomorrow. It's actually one of my longest ones, I think. It's about 30-ish minutes. So I'm excited to see how that goes over. So, we'll see. It's a roleplay video. It's a relationship counselor roleplay video. So I'm excited to see how that goes over with everyone. But that'll be up tomorrow night at about 6 o'clock Central Time. You like ASMR? Well, cool. Let me know what kind of videos you like. I'm always looking for more ideas. I love ASMR too. That's why I started doing it. So, but I have new ASMR out at least twice a week. So feel free to check that out. There's quite a bit of it up there. I'm thinking about doing. I've been trying to do some more role plays. I think those are fun. Those are fun for me to make. I guess. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that. The relationship, like the relationship counselor role play, the teacher role play, those are fun for me to do because I don't feel so weird talking to myself. That is the one thing about filming ASMR is you feel kind of weird talking to yourself after a while. I mean, I have no problem talking all day long, but it's weird talking just to myself sometimes. So I have to pretend that there's someone in the room with me. That's why I like the live so much, is because you guys are here and I am talking to somebody. So it's not like I'm just talking to myself. I mean, usually my dog Huxley's down there with me when I record ASMR, so sometimes I just pretend he's a person and I'm talking to him because he probably just thinks I'm weird talking as much as I do. But I do like talking, which is good because I talk all night long at my job, so that's good. But yes, I'll have. Yeah, I think we all talk to ourselves a lot, but I talk to myself probably more than some, especially when I'm at work because like I have a lot of numbers. So I work in logistics and in trucking, and when I have all of our trucks are numbered, they're usually 3 or 4 digit numbers, and so when a driver calls in, I have to put their truck number in, and sometimes I have to say the number out loud to myself because if I'm super busy, I'll catch myself putting the numbers in backwards. So I usually talk to myself sometimes, but which is really great because I usually have a headphone into while I'm at work, and I'll be listening to something, and heaven forbid that there's a number or something mentioned in whatever I'm listening to, and usually it's YouTube videos. I like to listen to a lot of people's YouTube videos at work, and I I if somebody's like talking about something that's like counting or something super interested, I'll get I get distracted. Talking to yourself helps your mental health. Well, I'm glad to know that. I guess in that case, I'm all right then, because I do plenty of it. I do plenty of it. So, but anyway, we originally came here talking about family and family memories. So I think some of my best memories though would probably be, um, like I said, we're not a big family, so it was just my mom, my dad, my brother, and I. But I think some of my best memories were like, um, when we celebrated something, not necessarily like somebody's birthday, but like my parents were really big about making big deals out of things. Like if we got a really good report card or we accomplished something, like we did science fair when I was little. I don't know, like, I don't know if that's a thing anymore. Madison, did you have science fair when you were in school?
Yes.
Yeah, so Madison has science fair. Like we did science fair. Like one of my favorite memories, I did this project. This is gonna sound so cheesy, but I did this project where I grew plants. Okay, they were red geraniums. I remember this very distinctly now. They were red geraniums, and I set the pots. I wanted, because science, you have to have a control and a test subject. So I bought two geraniums that were the same size. I had them potted exactly the same. And to make sure that they got the same amount of sun and the same amount of rain, because it was outside, they were in my old Radio Flyer red wagon. That's where I set them so that I could keep them in the exact same place together. And so my science question was, do plants grow better with or without worms? I know that sounds so stupid now, but I was like, I don't know. It sounded good at the time, I guess. So I had these silly plants that I put worms in one pot and no worms in the control subject, and I took pictures every day for, I don't know, a month or something, or 2 months, however long the that's actually interesting. I'm glad you think so. But I had to take pictures of the plants every day. That's what my mom and I decided we would do to show the difference. And actually, the plant that had worms in it did grow more. It grew much better. It was a much healthier, bigger plant. But I had pictures. Okay, and I have terrible handwriting. I'll show you guys. Like those was notes for my live tonight. I don't know if you can read. I have horrible handwriting. Okay, and as a kid, it was even worse. So I had so let me draw a picture. So I'd have the little red wagon, and I had the two plants. Okay, this is so bad because I can't draw, but so I had the two plants, and then I had tags at the bottom of the wagon, and it would say with worms and without worms. Okay, so look like this. So here's a little red wagon, and here's my plants, and then here's the little tags, right? Okay, so my handwriting was so horrible, and these pictures had to be, so you had the little, for science fair, most people use the poster, it was like foam board that had it bent into like three, so you'd have a centerpiece and then the two side pieces. So all these pictures were up, like I showed like the beginning when I first got the plants, and then the end when I finished the experiment. And so there was all of these. Hi Tammy, thanks for dropping in, thanks for being here. So there was all these pictures with my horrible handwriting. I think I used purple marker because that was my favorite color at the time. Oh, it was so awful. Yeah, so that was fun. I remember another science fair I did. It was what helps fresh flowers last longer, like cut flowers. And the reason I did it is because my dad always bought my mom flowers. They were always like, he brought her flowers home almost every week, and they were carnations, I believe. He worked downtown. Hi, the Word of God Garden and more. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. How are you? Tammy, I'm doing great. Thank you. I hope you are doing well too. I hope you had a great Sunday, and I hope you have a great week this week. I hope everybody does. I don't know what it's like around you guys, but I think it's supposed to be kind of rainy this week, but that's all right. Our grass is growing like crazy. Hi, New Creation in Christ. Thanks for being here. How are you? Welcome. Welcome. Happy Sunday. So, all kinds of people here tonight. Fun. That is awesome. Hey, you guys. So this was a good time. I thought I was getting on here too late because originally we planned on me being back because I did a live earlier. We planned on me being back at like 7:30, and well, that didn't happen. But anyway, so I remember doing this experiment where we tested what kept the fresh. I'm glad you're doing well, Tammy. That is awesome. Good. We did this thing. Oh, you're about to go to sleep. Hey, that's all good. I appreciate you being here. If you got to go to bed, I totally get it. I appreciate you popping in, though. You can relate because you did 3 years ago. I had to go to college, do science fair, and you have very bad handwriting too. Okay, yay for those of us who have bad handwriting. My dad's mom yelled at me my whole, like, ever since I got into school. She yelled at me my whole life about how horrible my handwriting is because my dad's handwriting is horrible. Everybody said my dad should have been a doctor and not a lawyer because his handwriting's so bad. And sorry, Dad, if you're watching, I'm telling all your dirty secrets. Sorry, but I love you. It's okay. My dad and I are like best friends. Well, actually, okay, let me correct that. My dad was my first best friend, and my mom was my first best friend. And now my spouse is my best friend, and my dog would like to be my best friend, but he gets overrun by my spouse. So sorry, Huxley, I love you, buddy. But anyway, so where was it? Oh, so the flowers. I did the thing where I dropped a penny in. I think we did baking soda, the little packet that they give you with the flowers, and something else. There was something else that we tested. I don't know. I'd have to ask my mom. But believe it or not, if you stick a penny, and this is true to this day, if you get, like, so if somebody brings you roses because you're loved, or someone brings you whatever kind of flowers, or you buy them for yourself, which there's nothing wrong with buying yourself flowers, don't use the packet that they give you when you buy the flowers, because usually it comes with a little flower food. Stick a penny. Okay, let me correct myself. For those of you who are not in the United States, I don't know about other countries' money, but if you are in the United States or you have American money in your possession, if you stick a penny in those fresh flowers, they will actually last 2 to 3 days longer than the flower food. I discovered that. That was a big scientific breakthrough for me. Yeah. So there's your advice for the day. Madison is trying not to laugh at me at the moment.
I'm unaware.
You were unaware. Okay, so let's see if Madison buys me flowers now and we can try this at home. We will recreate things for everyone. Actually, no, I don't really like fresh flowers as an adult because they die. We have some artificial roses that we had in our wedding.
I offered to buy you flowers last week.
I know you did offer to buy me. Okay. So let me correct myself. You are very welcome, Tammy, and you are very welcome. Someone. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but that's your screen name, so we'll go with that. And anybody who knows me, I'm really bad with names, so sorry if I forget your name. Our channel, because this is the Better Half a Nice channel. Our channel made YouTube full partnership last week, and Madison did actually offer to buy me flowers, and I declined. We did go out and eat. We did have fun. But no, I'm not a big fan of fresh flowers because they do die. So I will tell you that Madison has given me flowers throughout the year. When I worked at Lowe's, I had a really, really, really bad day one day. I mean, horrible. And I came out to my car, and there was a really sweet note and a rose on my front seat, because at the time I worked literally 2 miles down the road, and Madison snuck up there and stuck those in my car, so they were there when I got off work, and it was really sweet. And I cried. I'm not gonna lie, I cried, because it was sweet. But Madison does all kinds of sweet things. Madison has even taken, when I worked at Walmart, and Walmart was a rough period of life. That was a very long 20 years. Well, 19 years. It was a very long 19 years. But Madison used to send bottles of like flavored water or like Crystal Light, just different kinds of flavored waters and stuff. And Madison would draw little cartoons on them for me and write little notes on them. And I have a whole mess of them still in a box in the closet because I'm nostalgic like that. So yeah, Madison is very much a romantic and a very spoiled like that. So flowers are not, yeah, flowers are cool, but I have way cuter things. But yeah, so we do have the 3 roses from their artificial roses from when we got married, and we still have those. They sit on Madison's desk. I probably should dust them sometime this century, but we just don't have them. Actually, I don't even think it's dust. I think it's dog fur. Everything, like our corgi. Like if you're interested in getting a dog, and you want a corgi, just be prepared that you will have multiple corgis by the end of the first day of them being in your house, because corgis shed a lot. And when we brush him, it's like he has 3 or 4 puppies come off of his fur. So yeah, corgis are great, but they do shed a lot. Huxley, would you like to come say hello? Do you want to say hello?
Say hello, Huck.
You want to say hello? Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can get my puppy.
He's wagging his tail.
Come here. Oh, come here.
Oh,
No.
don't roll over.
Don't roll over. Oh, what? Hold on, guys. He's being shy. Come here.
Sinbad, you want to go say hi?
Come here. Ugh. He's not a puppy, but this is Huxley. Say hi. Say hi. I'm Huxley. This is my baby. Say hello. Yeah. Oh, are we boring you? I'm sorry. Are we boring? This is Huxley. Here he is, Tammy. This is Hux. This is my baby. He just had his birthday the other day. Yeah. Oh, we're so boring. I know. It's such a hard life. Mwah. I love you. Yes, I do. He's so spoiled. Yes, he's so spoiled. I know. Okay, I'll put you down. Okay. He says, I've had enough. All right. Careful. Careful. Good boy. Thank you. He's a sweetie. He is, we had his DNA tested. Okay. I know that sounds probably pretty weird. Thank you, guys. He knows he's cute. I don't have to tell him. Trust me. They say you're cute. He says he knows. But, we had his DNA tested because I don't know how good of a look he got at his face, but he kind of has some pit bull in his face looking. But when I got him, they told me that he was a Chiweenie, which is not a registered AKC breed, but they're like a popular breed, which is part Dachshund, part Chihuahua. So, you know what? What was the brand we used?
I don't remember.
Hold on, we'll look it up for you, Tammy, because the one we used was so awesome. The people were really good to us. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, we got it from Amazon, I know that. But we tested his DNA, and he came out with being like a lot. Embark, that's what it was. It was Embark. And they send you their DNA, and they break it down for you. So he has multiple kinds of dogs in him. But he's mostly Dachshund and mostly Chihuahua. But he's a cutie pie. So I will put a note out and tell you like all the things that he breaks down in being, since I can't look on my phone right now because I'm using my phone. Rat Terrier, yeah, Rat Terrier, which is actually where you guys, one of these days I'm gonna have to film him for you guys so you can hear him when he starts like going crazy, because Rat Terriers are known for like their yelping kind of thing, and that he does that. He's very loud when he wants to be. He's like super loud. Our Corgi is very loud too. Our Corgi is our home alert system. Oh, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tilt the phone so you guys can see. This was our bed until Huxley took over, and he's now currently burying himself in our bed because that's what he does. Because he's always cold, so he buries himself. But anyway, Sinbad is our first alert system. If anybody gets on our driveway, we know, and because Huxley will. Sinbad, our corgi, will bark and tell you. He will run down the stairs and tell you. And he knows what everyone's car sounds like. He knows what Madison's car sounds like. My car sounds like. So he knows when I come home from work. And if Madison fell asleep with the Oh, thank you. I have to go to bed, but I hope you have a good one. And next time you are live, I'll join. I like to sub. Well, thank you for so much for coming. Thank you for the sub. You have a very blessed day and a very blessed week. It was so nice to meet you. I will see you again soon. Take care. Have a great night. Um. So, but yeah, Sibet will let us know when there's somebody coming. Nemo will definitely let you know when someone is here at the house. He will bark for you. Um, yeah. Oh, so we were talking about sentimental earlier. Okay, I already told you guys enough embarrassing secrets. I'm not shy about this. But so this bear, Madison got me roses when we were first dating, and this bear came with this, and that was like 18 years ago, probably 18 and a half years ago now, and I still have the bear. So he's pretty raggedy, but I still have him. And he went with me when I had surgery last year. That was an adventure in itself. But yeah, he went with me when I had surgery. So yeah, he's been around. He's seen some stuff. I think we took him when I had my nasal surgery too, right? Yeah, we took him then. So that was a couple years ago, 3 years ago, I guess now. So he's been around, but yeah. So that's the kind of nostalgic kind of person I am. But anyway, so what other family fun stuff can I tell you? Yeah, we've actually been. Oh, thank you, Tammy. That's so sweet. We've actually been together 19 years. Yeah, we've been together 19 years, and married for a long time too. But 19 years we've been together. And we've been married for 12. I had to double check with the boss because I'm really bad. As a girl, I'm terrible. They say guys are bad about anniversaries and stuff. No, I am bad. Oh, thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. Madison is well, okay, Madison's a smart one in the relationship anyway, but Madison's really good about dates and everything like that. So, yeah, but no, we've been married for 12, and it'll be 13 this year. And, yeah, but we've been together for 19 years. So, yeah, so I'm very lucky that way. Madison does not look his age either. I'll tell you the guys are right now. No, not at all. I'm lucky. So, let's see. Other fun family stuff can I tell you? I did dumb stuff when I was a kid, but I didn't do like horrible dumb stuff. Oh, I can tell you guys a good story. So, I, when I was in middle school. Yeah, I was in middle school, and my mom was working at the time, and we'd been, Madison usually does not come on camera. Madison usually is never on camera, though Madison does talk in a lot of my lives and my videos. Sometimes you'll hear Madison in the background, but no, Madison is pretty shy, which I'm okay with, but no, Madison usually does not come on camera, but you will hear Madison in the background. So say hi.
Hi.
Madison's working right now too.
Hi, hello, hola.
Yeah, hola.
Aloha.
Aloha, yeah. Why don't you look up how to say it in Russian too? A few other languages.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, yeah.
¿Cómo está?
¿Cómo está? Yeah. But no, Madison's around a lot, just usually not on camera. Though Madison has been close to being on camera a few times during some of my old lives. I think the one on New Year's, you're making dog food that night, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Madison home makes our dog food. Those of you who don't know me that well, our dogs are very spoiled, like super spoiled. If you know the name brand, like Farmer's Dog, Madison makes a better homemade version of that, and that's what our dogs eat because it keeps them healthier, keeps them happier. They're definitely a lot healthier in terms of their coat and their teeth and just their health in general. They're just a lot healthier dogs. Nemo, our little guy, he has some issues with his back legs, and he's been in a lot less pain, and he gets around a lot better. And he's our oldest dog. How old is he now?
You forget?
No, Nemo.
No.
Nemo's
7.
Hi, Jason. I didn't even see you come in. Hello. How are you? I can only I see you now. I didn't see you. I didn't see you come in. If you said hi before, I'm sorry I missed you. So how old is Nemo?
7.
7. Okay.
Oh.
So Nemo's our oldest dog, and he acts like a puppy now.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. That's why we started making the farmer's dog because it's so expensive. Because we looked into it because of Hammy and Olivia actually. Madison's trying to get Nemo to come out.
Oh.
Come here, Nemo.
Come here, Nemo.
Come here, Nemo. We'll try to get Nemo to come out so you guys can see him. He's really cute.
Oh.
But he's gonna start howling here in just a minute.
I know how to do it.
But we looked into farmer's dog because of Hammy and Olivia. And Hammy and Olivia,
Dog's barking.
if you've ever seen them, they have codes where you can get codes from them to get discounts on farmer's dog. And we looked into it, but with us having, you know, the small little group of dogs that we have, it was going to be super expensive. And so Madison looked up there's recipes and stuff on YouTube. You do have to be really careful to make sure that how much does it cost us to make it at home. And so 4 dogs.
I've never added it up.
We've never added. I mean, we try to watch when the grocery stores have ground beef or chicken on sale, and we'll buy a lot of it and freeze it. Other way they like chicken, so we'll go. If you heard, yeah. So the barking is Sinbad our corgi, and the howling is Nemo. Hold on, Nemo.
Good boy.
But so we get sorry, that was very loud, guys. There's Nemo.
Say hi.
Say hi, Nemo. Just gonna miss way a little bit. Say hi, Nemo. That's Nemo. Say hi, Nemo. Doing a lot of ground pork. You know, we've never tried ground pork. That's a good idea. We might look into that.
Yeah, we haven't tried.
We haven't tried ground pork. They don't like fish. We tried to do salmon one time, and they were like, no.
They don't like turkey either.
They don't really like turkey. Yeah, they're not big fans of turkey either. But a lot of times we'll touch. We have Deerbergs here. That's one of our local grocery stores, and they'll run beef. Oh, thank you. He's a sweetheart. He's very picky about. I don't get to hold him very much, but he is attached to Madison like that. Tootsie and Nemo are attached to Madison at the hip. Sinbad loves everyone, and Huxley pretty much loves everyone too. He's an all around cool kind of guy. But anyway, so we'll catch the 90-10 beef, 93.7 beef on sale for like $5, and we'll get a bunch of it and freeze it. Sometimes we'll go to Costco because those rotisserie chickens that they have, which are huge, are like $5, and we'll shred that and we'll use that as the protein in their food. Well, not we. I don't make it. Madison does. But we do a lot of vegetables. Yeah, that's kind of creepy, Jason. I didn't know. Yeah, well, I believe it though. People try to, it's just like we didn't know that like for a long time they put that, what is it that they put on the shredded cheese to keep it from sticking? It's like a starch. It's like potato starch. Like who would have known? That's why Madison buys the blocks of cheese and shreds the cheese. Madison's the cook in the house, not me. If I cooked, it would be terrifying. But anyway, so we use, the last batch had sweet potatoes, spinach,
beef, eggs, sweet potatoes, spinach, carrots.
So beef, eggs, sweet potatoes, carrots, spinach, green beans,
green pepper and green beans,
and green pepper and green beans, and then salmon oil, turmeric, black pepper, and the nutrient pack. Now we do buy, and that was what I was saying. You have to be really careful. McDonald's French fries are so they used to use beef tallow in McDonald's French fries. I don't know if they do anymore, but that's why everybody got hooked on them, is because they fry them in the
good.
Yeah, they were good like that. I don't think they do it anymore, but yeah. But anyway, so you have to, if you're gonna make your dog's own food, you just have to be careful that they get all their nutrients. It's just like people, you need your vitamins and all that. So we get the nutrient pack from Farmer's Dog, and that's pretty inexpensive, all things considered. You can get that on Amazon. It's just a powder, and you mix it in with the food, and then that way they get all their vitamins and minerals. But Madison makes it to save money and time. Madison makes it in big batches, and then freezes it. We have a food sealer that you can make your own individually sized bags, and so we just freeze it and then thaw it over a day or two in the fridge as we need it. And our dogs eat twice a day, and we their portions are measured out by weight. So yeah, I hope they're not mixing meat like that. That's kind of creepy. So
What's wrong?
yeah, so the dogs get their portions measured out, just like the way farmers dog works is they do it like you tell them what the breed and size and age of your dog is, and then they portion out the food. So we've looked up, how much our dogs should eat, how many ounces they should eat each meal, and then we weigh their food out on the food scale so that we try to keep them as healthy as possible. So, Jason, I'm sorry that you are still struggling. You are definitely in my prayers, and anybody else who needs, I pray for all my subscribers and all my friends on YouTube. But if you need a specific prayer, feel free to reach out. If you don't want to put it publicly, you can email me. My email is fracturedchristian@gmail.com, and then I'll be happy to take anything email as well, because I genuinely believe that prayer works. So you guys are going to hear the dogs get real excited here in just a second, because Madison's getting treats out for them. So and we're actually pretty picky about the treats they get too. They're 2-ingredient treats. They're chicken jerky, but they're 2 ingredients. So Huxley, come out. You want your treat?
Stuck in the blanket.
Are you stuck?
Huxley.
He wrapped himself up in a blanket and he couldn't get out. So, yeah. Sinbad, you want a treat? Here you go. There you go. So they're happy now. They got treats. But yeah, so we try to take care of them. My parents have cats, but they've gone to a more natural food for their cats too. They don't make it, but they've gone to a much more natural food instead of a processed food. But it is expensive. So your neighbors are still, oh man, I'm sorry, Jason. I know you've been struggling with those guys for a while. So hopefully things will get better there soon. That's not fun. So what else fun things can I tell you guys? Oh, Christmas. Christmas is always a big deal with my family. My mom, when we were little, like all the Christmas ornaments that you make like in preschool and school and stuff, we always kept those and hung them on the tree. And after my brother passed, she'd saved all those. We went through them a few years ago, and we picked out all of our favorites, and we kept the ones that were our favorites that my brother had made, and that those were really special. Those were very. I will definitely pray for you and your family, Tammy. That's, yeah, definitely. You will definitely be in my prayers. Actually, I don't think I have you on my list, so let me write that down. Because I have a list in a book that I keep of everybody who needs prayers, so I will put you on my list. You're very welcome. So, but yeah, Christmas is always a big deal. My mom is an amazing cook. Madison is an amazing cook, so when we have holiday dinner here, it's amazing. If food wasn't so expensive, I'm sure Madison, she oh my gosh, I'm laughing as I say this, but Madison would be really mad if I invited you all here, but Madison is a really good cook, and you guys would be impressed with what's pulled off for the holidays. But yeah, I remember growing up, Christmas was always turkey or ham, and Thanksgiving was always turkey, and normally we had Thanksgiving. Growing up, we had Thanksgiving. Usually we would when my mom's parents lived in. Sorry guys, I have to fix the blanket for Huxley because he's pushing it off the bed to get under the blanket. Are you comfortable now?
And now he's getting back up on the bed.
It looks like a It looks like a slug is crawling up my bed because there's a blanket sliding across the bed now. But um, Christmas was always a big, like, so the holidays, we would, when my mom's parents lived in Chicago, which is where my mom is originally um, from, we would go there for Christmas. So we would either go to my mom's parents for Christmas and my dad's mom for Thanksgiving, or vice versa. So my dad's dad passed away before I was born. I never got to meet him, but so we trade back and forth. And then when my mom's parents moved to Arizona, we didn't get to go out there as much because it wasn't like we could drive there. My grandma only lived like 4 or 5 hours from us, my dad's mom. So it was easier for us to go see them, but to see her. But my grandparents, my mom's parents, would fly in a lot, and then we would celebrate the holidays that way. But holidays like always like a very big special family time, and I really appreciated that growing up. That my parents made a big deal about the holidays, and getting together with family and how much that meant, because not everybody gets to do that. Not everybody, and I know my parents were really, that was important that we could spend that time with family and that we did get to spend time with our grandparents. And it's part of the reason why I miss them so much is because we were so close. I did get to spend a lot of time with them. My dad's mom, we called her Mima. That was actually my cousin that is a year older than me. That's what he started calling her when he was a little kid, so she just went by Mima. But she lived outside of Kansas City, and it's close enough that when I learned to drive, I could drive there by myself, and that was one of my fondest and most proudest moments as a teenager, was driving up to see her and spend time with her. Because as when we were younger, my parents would drive us up, and we would spend time with her. We get to sit, hang out with her for like a week by ourselves, and that was really cool. And we got to she was a very cool woman. Like she grew up on a farm. She she'd had a really bad accident when she was a child. She'd gotten hit. My dad's probably, I know my dad's told me this story. I want to say she was actually hit by a car, if I remember correctly. But she was in a really bad accident when she was younger, and it's why she couldn't have children, because she'd broken her pelvis really bad, so she never could have children of her own. So my dad and his sister are adopted. They are not related. They were not brother and sister before they were adopted, but they're both adopted, which is actually really cool. It's interesting that my dad's sister did go and find her parents, her birth parents. I know at least her birth mom. I don't know about her dad. My dad never did. He said that his mom was, Mima was his mom, and that was it. So that was cool. So yeah, family was always really important, and that was really something that my parents really stressed, was that the holidays was family time. We would, like, on Christmas break, we get to hang out with our friends a little bit, but we were definitely home for family. We'd hang out with grandparents and stuff like that. So that was really important. And then my grandma and grandpa, when they moved out to Arizona, we got to spend time out there as kids with them too, which was cool. We got to go up and see. Arizona is a really interesting state, if you ever get to go there, because there's, it's obviously mostly desert, but then when you go up in the mountains, it's so much cooler. There's a place that my grandparents took me called Mount Lemon that I remember going up to, and they have a park partway up the mountain, and you can go out, and they have hundreds of hummingbird feeders, and you can just sit, and the hummingbirds are not afraid of people, and you can just sit, and there'll just be a cloud of hummingbirds around you going to all these feeders. And in Arizona, they have multiple kinds of hummingbirds, and it's amazing. Like, there's so many beautiful colors. Tammy, nice chatting with you. You're off to bed. Well, have a good night. Get a good rest. It was really great for you to be here. Thank you so much. God bless you. Get a good rest and have a great, wonderful week. I will be praying for you for sure. And I will talk to you again soon. So thanks for being here. But yeah, like, I was just amazed, like, how many colors the hummingbirds are. And then my grandparents had 3 hummingbird feeders on their back porch, so we would sit out there and watch the hummingbirds, because we would spend, usually if we went out there, we would spend several days out there, because it was a big deal to have to get out there, because we didn't get out there that much. We would spend like a week or so with them and hang out with them, and that was very fun. My grandfather, this is a fun fact. My grandfather actually qualified to be in the Olympics as a swimmer. He wound up hurting his knee, and he didn't get to go far with his competition, but he did qualify, and that was cool. They had a pool. The subdivision that they moved out to when they moved out to Arizona was one of those, you have to be a certain age to live in, and the only younger people that were there were people's like family with grandkids and stuff. And so my grandpa always liked to take us. My brother and I were very good swimmers. We were on the swim team. We did things like that. And my grandpa, one of the biggest, proudest moments was when he taught us to swim the length of the pool underwater without taking a breath. So we would swim the whole length of the pool without coming up, which he was really proud when he taught us that. That was like a big thing for him. And he was an amazing, cool guy. He was very funny. But yeah, I love Arizona. It's not a place that Madison wants to go because of the snakes and the spiders. And now that I'm an adult, and scorpions, yeah. Now that I'm an adult, that stuff terrifies me. But when you're a kid, you don't really think about it. Because my grandparents, they were one of the few houses in their subdivision that had grass, and everybody has gates. Most people had rocks in their backyard, in their front yard. My grandparents' front yard was rocks and cacti. But their backyard had grass, and my grandparents had fruit trees. They had a lemon tree, something else. I don't remember what else. My grandfather was super proud of the lemon tree, but they actually had real grass, which is a huge deal in Arizona. But everybody has these gated fences, and then their back, instead of having at the edge of their backyard, instead of having a fence, it was a brick wall. But on the end of their gate, they had to have these grates that went all the way down into the grass, and you really had to push to open the gate open, and that's to keep the snakes out. And you don't think about that as a little kid, but yeah, you don't want to step outside and there's a snake in your backyard. Woohoo! So yeah, I have very fond memories of hanging out with my grandparents. That was very important to us. And they were very fun people. I think Mima was probably the stricter of my grandparents in terms of rules and how she expected us to act, and she was very big at taking us to her church and taking us around her friends, and so she had very high expectations for us, and we learned a lot. Not that my parents didn't teach us manners, they did. Mom, Dad, in case you're watching, I remember all my manners I was taught. But I may not. Madison just gave me the dirtiest look. I may not keep all those manners that I know now, I knew then. Now, sometimes I'm bad. Elbows on the table kind of thing. But I don't know. My parents didn't teach me manners, but my grandma was a very proper person, and it was just interesting, the expectations that she had for my brother and I to be, to act a certain way and to be mature and things like that. And it was a big deal. When my grandma introduced us to her friends, because they were all very, very prim and proper people. And that was the thing, she grew up during the Depression, so people just grew up differently back then. Madison and I were reminiscing earlier about all the things that happened since we've been young, rotary phones and stuff like that. Just so much has changed, you don't realize, I guess, because as you're growing up, it just sort of is a natural progression of things, that things improve and we get new things. But you look at kids now, they get cell phones very young. They do different things that we did when we were kids. People, I remember going and getting and starting having a quote real job when I was 14 and a half. And I babysat before that and then after that as well. And you just don't see that now. You don't see those kind of things. You don't see the school activities being as important, the clubs and things like that were when we were kids. Computers. Obviously Madison and I were talking about the internet changed all that. There was no YouTube when we were growing up. But I think younger me would have not as been fascinated so much with YouTube. My brother would have liked it. I don't know. Our attention spans are so different now. That's why YouTube Shorts are such a big thing. And I'm not gonna lie, we are that way too. There are certain videos that You know, we'll fast forward or we'll skip over because they're too long or whatever. It just depends on how engaging they are, and that's something I've had to learn too the hard way. With videos is, are they engaging? It's just like when I'm watching people now pop in and out of the live. What makes people interested? What people want to listen to what you're talking about? What's important to me isn't necessarily important to you or important to Michelle. Social media and tech, it is. It's like, love you too. Thank you for being here, Michelle. I appreciate that. Yeah, technology is a great thing. It really is, but there's a lot of negativity along with it. There's a lot that can, that people can be really mean anonymously. People can do, identity theft. There's a lot of bad stuff on with technology. There's a lot of good stuff too. I mean, you think about how far we've come in terms of like medicine and stuff. That's an interesting
There's a lack of accountability.
Medicine said a lack of accountability because you can be so anonymous online. People don't police themselves. It's amazing in healthcare, like the ability to cure people and help people live longer and recover from different illnesses. My dad had heart surgery a few years ago, and if he wouldn't have had that heart surgery, he wouldn't be here today. They diagnose problems a lot earlier. They're able to help children that have issues way earlier, and it's amazing the way doctors can do things with it that they can do now. But yeah, there's good and bad sides with technology for sure. I will tell you, I've met some amazing people. All of you guys I've met because of the internet. I wouldn't have met you before. So I like that, but there's also, like Madison said, the lack of accountability. People say things that they want to say without thinking sometimes of how they're going to hurt somebody or, upset somebody. So there's good and bad to everything. But yeah. Your brother had a double lung transplant. Wow, that's incredible. I hope he's okay now. Wow, that's some intense surgery. Like, I can't even imagine recovering from that. I know how long of the recovery it was for my dad when he had his heart surgery. That's incredible, and that speaks to like the amazing way that we've come from, people that needed those kind of things. Even 10, 12 years ago, it would be a much harder recovery, a much harder surgery than what it was, what it is now. So, I had a hysterectomy last year, and they did. I'm glad he is doing amazing. That is awesome. That is so awesome. God, wow. I will keep him in my prayers. That is amazing. That is just a true testament to God and to the ability that God gives people, the physicians. I truly believe that that's a gift. People that are in the medical field, that's a gift that they're given. Just like teachers and people that sing and people that, we all have our gifts that are given to us, and we should use them for good. But yeah, when I had my hysterectomy last year, we were talking about, I was sent home the same day, and even 10, 20 years ago,
2 hours.
Yeah, I got sent home like 2 hours after I got a surgery. I don't remember a whole lot of that. But I did go home a couple hours after. I was pretty out of it. But a few years ago, they would keep you in the hospital for that. Same thing now, like if you have a baby, you usually go home the next day. But that's because things are different now, and healthcare is in a better place for the most part, which is good. So I know it's not the same in every place, but for the most part, it's a good thing. So anyway, back to family and fun stuff. Growing up, I think I talked about this a little bit earlier when I went on live earlier, but growing up, pets didn't become a big thing of our family until we got, we had a couple of dogs when I was really small, and then we got cats when I was younger, and fish, and gerbils. We had gerbils. My brother named them, they were my brother's gerbils. He had Agatha Christie and Alfred Hitchcock. He was a big into spy movies and novels, and so that was what he named his gerbils. I had fish for a very long time. I had tropical fish, and I absolutely loved them. I had all kinds of pretty tropical fish. But we grew up, I was fascinated with fish. I know it sounds like kind of a weird pet to have, but tropical fish, that was like a lot of responsibility as a kid. You know, you had to keep the temperature, a certain temperature for the tank so the fish stayed okay. You had to change the filter. You know, you had to monitor them a lot. I remember when my guppies, I think it was guppies that first had the babies, you had to put them in a separate little net in the tank, so that none of the other fish tried to eat the babies. So yeah, it was kind of cool. You know, it taught me about responsibility and stuff. So that was cool. And we were talking about home ec class. I don't know if any of you guys had home ec class in like high school. I remember going home with a bag of flour baby. Some people had was the egg that you had to take care of for a few days. Now they have a robotic baby that you take care of, which is kind of weird. So yeah, that was and like shop class. What did you make in shop class, Madison?
Screwdriver.
A screwdriver?
Checkerboard and checkers.
Oh, checkerboard and checkers. Well, you had fancy.
Honestly, I don't remember the other stuff.
I made a birdhouse, a spice rack. I'm trying to think what else I made. I did not like shop class. I was very afraid of the tools. Like the tin snips. No, I did not like those at
I
all.
had to get something out with my screwdriver because the drop forge thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't lift it.
You couldn't lift the thing to make your screwdriver?
Yeah, you had to lift it up and drop it repeatedly to flatten it out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't strong enough to
We
lift
didn't get to
up.
make it. That's kind of cool that you got to make a tool in shop class. But you played football, so you were cool.
Yeah, but I was still a midget.
Well, yeah, okay, so you're short. I'm short. We're both short. It's okay. Madison did play football, so that was cool. I did not play any. I did track and field for a little while in high school. I did shot put, and don't laugh, okay? Don't laugh about this, but I did race walking. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but yeah, I did. Madison is laughing at me right now. It's really okay. I was in orchestra. I played the violin. I kind of miss. I honestly wish that's one big regret I have in life is that I gave that up. I wish I still played the violin. My brother played the piano, and he was pretty good at it. I don't know if you guys remember the movie Robin Hood, but there was a who sings the song Bryan Adams.
Yes.
So in the movie Robin Hood, I know there's like a million Robin Hood movies, but there was one of I think it was Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood.
Yes.
That there was the Bryan Adams song Everything I do, I do it for you. My brother learned how to play that on the piano. That was actually one of the very last things that he learned how to play on the piano before he died. And that song, that's one of my fond memories of him playing the piano. He was, like I said, he was pretty good. He was good at anything he put his hands on. He was just a very talented young man. He really was. He was a cool kid. He was just one of those kind of people that could just pick up anything and do it. He was just a smart little guy. But that's one of the big regrets is I wish he would have lived long enough to meet Madison because I just think they would have got along so well. But you know, everything happens for a reason. Like you said, Michelle, everything happens for a reason. We just don't always know what that is at the time. So, but anyway, we were just talking about family memories today and stuff like that, and I think that was pretty cool.
You know, as kids, we used to just go play. Now there's play dates.
Oh yeah, Madison said as kids you just went outside and played, and found friends. Yeah, you would go find your friends, and now they have play dates. And I get that because kids are sometimes kind of mean to each other. Not kind of, they are mean to each other. But we were found our own friends, you know. There were certain people that your parents would say, "Oh, don't hang out with them" because they're in the bad crowd or whatever. But yeah, you found your own group of friends. Of course, I hate to say this, but when I was in high school, I was in that bad group. That was me. Yeah, I was. We were the bad kids. We were the misfits, you know, the ones that didn't fit in. We weren't nerds. We weren't jocks. We weren't. And that was when the grunge phase of music was going on, and that's what I was into, and heavy metal and stuff. And yeah, that's a story for another time.
Was into it?
Huh?
Was.
Well, yeah, okay. I still listen to some crazy music, but that's a story for another time. But we were definitely the outcast group. My brother would be probably what you consider one of the popular people. What did they call him back in the day? the preppy people. I think that's what my brother was. That's a very 90s buzzword, but he was probably a preppy person. He was, he was always very nicely dressed. He didn't care, like, he wasn't like, he didn't have to have like name brand clothes. Like, I remember at one point in time, like, begging my parents to buy me a Guess sweatshirt because all my friends had one. I think that was in middle school. No, that was in elementary school. I remember that. And that was back when Michael Jackson jackets were cool, with all the zippers. Yeah, I'm really dating myself now. It's a long time ago. Um, oh yeah, that's a good memory. So when I was in elementary school, the song I heard it through the grapevine was really big because of the California Raisins commercials that were on TV. So the elementary school that I went to every year for Halloween, they had a big costume parade out on our back behind the school. We had this huge playground. It was a beautiful playground, and they had the fields back there for baseball and the PE classes and stuff like that. But we had a huge blacktop area where you could play basketball. They had drawn lines where you could play the hopscotch. They would take jump ropes out, and people would jump rope and do double dutch and all that stuff. You remember those back in the day? But anyway, so they would do this huge parade, and they would do it by grade level. So your teacher would walk you out, and all the kids would come out in their costumes, and you would walk and you do the parade, and everybody would clap. Okay, and so the year that the California Raisins were really big, so they got us all out there, and they left a couple of like, that was back when like everybody's moms came up to school for like school parties. If they could come and people would bring food, and you'd have like the in classroom parties and stuff like that. So they left us outside with the parents, and all the teachers went inside, and they dressed up as the raisins. So they all had on like gray tights, and then they took trash bags full of newspaper, balled up newspaper, and they all put on the like these really curly black haired wigs. And it was they all came out, and somebody turned on a big like boom box. You remember the boom boxes back in the day, like the big huge boom boxes that you could put batteries in and like carry with you? So somebody brought one of those out, and they played California Raisins, and then all the teachers marched out, and they were dancing to the song. And as kids, like, we thought this was like the coolest thing ever. Like, all of us screamed, and it was like it was so cool. Like, I don't know, I still to this day, I think I was probably like, I don't know, third or fourth grade. It was a really long time ago. So yeah. Oh, an art class. I think my mom still has some of my clay creations. Maybe she finally got rid of them. I can't remember. But I had an amazing art teacher in middle school. And I'm not artistically inclined. I cannot draw. I cannot paint. No. I can write. I'm very creative in terms of writing, but I cannot do art. And I would do, I love this art teacher. Her name was Miss Davis. And she loved to teach kids art, to appreciate the art of making something. And so you always got to make at least one clay something every year. So like I remember one year, the whatever grade I was in, for Mother's Day, we were gonna pot plants to take home, and so we made little clay worms to sit on the edge of the pots. We got to take those home. I know one year I made a piece of lasagna out of clay, and I painted it. I don't know. That was a cool memory. So yeah, I guess it's really cheesy now, but yeah, So anyway, but I was just reminiscing today, and I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. So, but yeah, anyway, that was kind of my point for tonight's live, and I just wanted to share. So if anybody else wants to share about their childhood, feel free. I will not laugh at you, I promise. I've shared enough embarrassing stuff. Oh, I collected My Little Pony as a kid. I still like My Little Pony. I'm not even gonna. There's no shame in admitting that. I love My Little Pony to this day. I did not so much like Barbie, and I didn't like to play house. Really, that wasn't a big thing. I did have a Cabbage Patch. Madison, can you?
Yeah.
Thanks. I did have a Cabbage Patch doll. I did have. Thank you. I did have, what else was big back then? I had a pound puppy growing up. I did have. He was brown. I had a pound puppy. I think I had a couple Cabbage Patch.
I
Um,
got it.
couple Cabbage Patch Kids. Um, and then yeah, I'm trying to think, but yeah, I wasn't into Barbie. A lot of my friends were into Barbie. My Little Ponies, I was so picky about them that I didn't really let my friends play with them. Like that was like a thing that they were not only certain friends were allowed to touch them, and that just was like, um,
I got it.
that was just a thing. Like they weren't allowed to play with them. They could look at them and we could talk about them. But I had the castle. I remember it was Majesty's Castle, and I had the castle, and I was very like I would hand wash my Little Ponies in the sink to keep them nice and clean, and that was a big thing. So yeah. Um, I'm trying to think what other like I don't remember a whole lot of like toys that I was super attached to. Oh, in case my dad is watching, I did have a stuffed Ernie. If you remember Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street, and I remember we were on a road trip somewhere. I don't remember where. Um, but we went somewhere, and I wanted to see if Ernie could fly. So obviously I was very young, but I held him out the window of the car, and I let go of him, and then I started freaking out. And my dad had to stop the car and go back to get Ernie. My mom made him stop the car and go back. So, yeah, that's a super embarrassing moment in my life because that was very traumatizing that I lost my own Ernie. Yeah, so my dad was a good dad and went back and got him. So, if there are if any of you guys out there are parents and your kids have done like horrific things like that and you had to go um, uncover them from their own mess and save them from themselves, props to you because I had pretty cool parents that were pretty understanding. So but anyway, so I think I'm gonna say goodnight for you guys. I've got to go make some videos. I need to get a couple of ASMR videos put up. I need to go get a few other things done. So it was super awesome talking to you guys. Like I said, if any of you need any prayers, if you have any prayer requests, please feel free to reach out anytime. You can email me or you can message on any of my videos. I read all my comments and I try to respond. I might be a day or two behind once in a while, but I try to respond pretty quickly. So feel free to reach out. We're not in this world alone. And I'm glad to pray for any of you guys. So thanks so much, guys, for stopping in. I sincerely appreciate it. And I will see you guys again very, very soon. So have a great night and have a great week. See you guys. Take care.